Check this out, brother. Check this out. The fact that we just stopped you, actually, the fact that you was walking in the midst of us being able to stop you is Bible prophecy, bro. You understand that? That's the Bible. All right? It say that. Watch this, read. Proverbs 20, verse 24.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
Bro, man's goings are the Lord. I don't know where you was at before you walked past God's Springs, but the Most High led you this way so you can come right here and get the knowledge of his Bible and understand that you're his chosen people. We got to wake up. We got to show our people who they are. We got to get back to his commandments so we can get up out of here and get the kingdom of heaven properly like the Bible lines out for us. You see that? What would you call yourself, bro? You call yourself a so-called African-American?
I am an African-American.
Right. That's a byword placed on us by the other nations. You know, Africa comes from Leo Scipios Africanus, which was a pale-faced man. And you got Amerigos Vespucci, however you pronounce his name, which was an Italian map maker, which is an American man. I mean, a pale-faced man. So those two names placed together, they come up with our nationality, which they change every few years from nigger to colored to Negro to black to Afro-American to now African-American. Something they changed so many times. So how do we know who we really are? If they keep changing the title that's upon us, how do we know? Because I can't find none of those titles in this book. Only titles I find in this book is that it's chosen people. It's Israel, and when I read what it say about them, it's talking about me and you. Let me show you real quick. Did you know that? Deuteronomy 28. Give me 15. We're going to go through it quick. I'm going to show you. Pay attention to me, bro. Hey, what's your name? Marvin. I'm Ezra. Watch this, all right? Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
It's going to happen, Marvin. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says, these are the bad things that's going to happen to us if we don't listen to God. We're going to read a few of them. Now, I want you to tell me, by process of elimination, who it belongs to. All right, we're going to eliminate some people. We're going to see if it happened to them. And you're going to tell me, well, who is this Bible talking about? Watch, Marvin. Verse 16.
Cursed shall thy be in the city.
Marvin, it says, cursed shall his people, his chosen people, be in the city. Who are the people that are in the slums, hoods, and ghettos everywhere, no matter where you go?
Black and white people.
No matter where you go, the most populated people in the slums, hoods, and ghettos is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You might have some white people, just like you got some of us on Rodeo Drive, just like you got some of us in Hollywood, just like you got some of us in the good places. There are some of them down here with us, but as a whole, brother, who is it that populates those areas? Let's be real. Let's be real, Marvin. Who is it? Us, brother. All right. Next.
Cursed shall I be in the field.
It says, in cursed shall I be in the field. Now let's look, Marvin. Let's take a look. I got illustrations. I'll make it easy. Who is that? Who are them in the field right there? How old are you?
37.
37 years old. I know Marvin know about what happened to us in history, the slavery we had to deal with. Cursed in the field, picking cotton,
right,
picking tobacco. Now, were we choosing to do that? No, we were forced to do it. And if we didn't do it, what happened, Marvin?
Bring it out.
Exactly. We got beat down, Marvin. Did that happen to everybody? You gonna say blacks and whites for that one, Marvin? No, sir. No, sir. Come on now. Be real with me. Who's cursed in the field, Marvin? Who's picked the cotton?
Us.
Us.
Right.
Watch this. Wait. 32. Read.
Verse 32. Thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people.
Thy sons and daughters given to another people. Now, you done watch some slave movies, right? Where they were selling Marvin to the Williams plantation, but they sold Marvin's son and daughter to the Wilson plantation.
Right.
You remember that? Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And those eyes of yours would fail and look with longing for your children that you could do nothing to get back all the day long. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And there wouldn't be any might, because guess what? They had every type of power over us at that time. We couldn't do nothing. You tried to bow up, whatever, they was going to strike you down. If you was the biggest one, they was going to make an example out of you in front of everybody.
They used that very book against us.
Yes, you want to know why? Because they knew if we couldn't read, they could say that this book was saying whatever. Right. But let me tell you something about this book, how you know it's written by us, the Israelites, and it's talking about us. Why would it be talking about the actual things that we went through in history in this book? Watch how more specific it gets. Read. verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shall thy serve thine enemies.
Now it says that his people would have to serve their enemies. And it's going to describe who those enemies are. Serve those enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
But don't forget the Most High sent them against us, because verse 15 lined out that if we didn't listen to him, then these bad things would come upon us. So he sent them against us. So this ain't no campaign to rile your spirit up and how you want to go out and beat up the other nations for what they did to you. It's to rile your spirit up to want to learn more and get back to his laws and see what you got to do to fix yourself according to God.
Right.
Read.
In hunger.
In hunger, we was going to have to serve them. Now, we know who own all these restaurants, Marvin. Come on now.
And we do.
Right, read. Huh? Wait, what?
And we do.
What you mean we do?
We do.
Oh, okay, we know. Okay, all praise, read.
And in thirst.
In thirst. Now, who own all the water companies? They do, right. Even if you don't pay your water bill, you want some water out the sink. Come on now, Marvin, read.
And in nakedness.
Everything you got on. Wings, the sweats, the hat, the DC, all that. Where you get that at? Who made it? All the cotton we done picked. Why we don't have any textile companies, Marvin? Come on, bro. You know it's clicking. Read.
And in want of all things.
Everything, Marvin. Everything. You want a car? Gotta go to them. You want the license to drive it? Gotta go to them. You want to die and be buried properly? Gotta go to them. You want to learn something? You gotta go to them, and they're gonna teach it to you the way they want to teach it to you. You see what I'm saying? You want a certificate to do anything, any type of license, anything, permission to do anything. You gotta go to them, bro.
Right.
It says we gotta serve our enemies this way. We're going to the people that used to have us in bondage. We have to still go to them for everything. Watch, read. And he, that enemy, the same one that sold your sons and daughters, the same ones that had you in the field, beating you down, that was breaking the men, that was hoeing out our women, using and abusing them the way they wanted, that was putting us against one another. Read.
And he,
that enemy,
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
shall do what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Back to the illustrations. Who in the world, Marvin? Who did that?
Bring it out.
Who did that to us?
Bring it out.
Hold on. I don't think you quite understand, Marvin. He shall do what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Why the Bible talking about that? This a real book.
Right.
They used the book when we couldn't read to say what they wanted to say it said. But the book says that his chosen people will have to serve the other nations, their enemies, in the one of all things. And that same enemy they serving was going to put yokes of iron on their neck. What's going to have them serving in the field.
Right.
What's going to have their children given to other people and they couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
That didn't happen to everybody, Marvin. You might see a couple of these Edomites, so-called white men around here in your hood, but they're not going through the same things we went through.
Right.
That didn't happen in history. You can't match that up.
Right.
Only the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now let's think about the Native Americans. It happened over here. They came over, 1492. They saw this land. They tricked them. They beat them. They killed them. They took it, and they put them in bondage and sent them over to Europe. Then they brought us from the west coast of Africa after we fled into Africa from our homeland, Jerusalem. They packed us up and brought us over here and oppressed us together. You see what I'm saying? They did that. Everything they take is by force, by the sword. Your so-called Hispanic brothers, they were Aztecs and Mayans before.
Right.
But the Spanish conquistadors, the reason they speak Spanish now, your brothers, your Hispanic brothers that are all up and down Guy Springs, is because they learned that from the same pale faces.
Right.
They come under a different name, Spaniards. You see what I'm saying? That language comes from Europe, brother. Spain is in Europe.
Right.
But we don't put the two and two together because of the way they teach us.
Right.
They teach us how they want us to learn it so we can be confused. It won't click that quick. But when you think about it, 37-year-old Marvin, it's clicking now. Watch this. Read.
Verse 49.
No, I want, go on, give me that 68. Watch this, Marvin.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now that's heavy right there. We got to pay attention. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, what were we doing when we was in Egypt? What was the Most High's people doing? Let my people go. Moses trying to free them from Pharaoh. What was happening? What were we doing?
I don't even know.
We were serving.
Right.
Remember, think about the movie Prince of Egypt. Think about Exodus, all that.
Read. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Now we're going to get to Amistad, because what we're going to finish covering in verse 68 is going to be Amistad in a nutshell.
Read. Out of the house of bondage.
It says, I'm the Lord thy God that brought thee out of the house of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. I mean, the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. It says that Egypt is synonymous or means the same thing as the house of bondage. We were serving in bondage in Egypt, being whipped down by the Egyptians, which are not us as a people. They come from Ham, we come from Shem, out of the 3 sons of Noah.
Right.
You see that? They're Hamitic people, we are Shemitic people.
Right.
Ham is a progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes.
Right.
Negro is a byword that was on us.
Right.
Remember, we just spoke about bywords. It used to be our so-called nationality. If you go and check your grandparents' marriage license, they probably say Negro.
Right.
As what they were. That ain't no nationality. That's some name they gave us. Watch this. Go back to verse 68. Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he gonna bring you into slavery again. He gonna make sure that thing happen. But how this time? Read.
With ships.
It say, the prophecy said he was gonna bring us into slavery again with ships.
Bring it up.
Now I know you know, Marvin, where that happened at. Look, these ships, we was stacked on here, sardine packed tight, brother. Just like you saw on the Amistad, when that brother was, give us free. You feel me? That was us, bro.
Right.
That was us. It says he was gonna bring us into slavery again, except this time with ships.
Right.
Now watch this, read.
With ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
It says the same way that it says it's gonna happen is it's gonna happen. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, exactly how he said it's gonna happen. All right? And you're not gonna see your homeland again. Your homeland is Jerusalem. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. A couple more scriptures, I'm gonna let you go. I wanna show you something real quick. I wanna show you a couple things, because you're not gonna just walk away that quick, Marvin. I got 3 more scriptures. Just 3, Marvin. Commit to it. Next.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
It says Israel, which is you, because you know, like it said in Deuteronomy, it's the Israelites who these things would happen to. Marvin's an Israelite. That happened to his people, our people. My brother, you are an Israelite. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
You got to fear God.
To walk in all his ways.
Walk in every way that he has in his book lined out for us. You got to follow his ways. Read.
And to love him.
And love him. 1 John 5 and 3 says if we love him, then we're going to keep his commandments. Because we can't give him a hug. We can't converse where he talks back. So we got to show him by doing what he say do. Read.
And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
We got to serve God with all our heart and with all our soul. It's going to sum it up into what it means in the next verse. Read.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
It says to keep the commandments. We got to keep his commandments.
It's so hard to serve God. And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.